Hello and thank you for taking the time to review this video. Today, I want to give you a quick overview of some of the changes we've made throughout ThermoGrid. The main focus with these updates is pretty simple. We want to make the system faster to use, reduce the amount of digging you have to do, and give each company more control over how information is displayed. We'll start here with the call screen and create a new call. A lot of this is going to look familiar, but we've made a few small changes to make the process quicker. When selecting a client, the client search now opens automatically. You can either quickly create a new client or search for a client and select where the work will be performed. Following the standard process, we search client name, and then we are guided to select and choose our service address. For this example, the customer is calling because they have no heat. We'll enter that information and select this as a service inbound call. That call type is being used for KPI tracking. If you're not using KPI tracking in ThermoGrid, you can review our documents in the Help Center, reach out or sign up for Rise coaching to help manage team performance and revenue goals. Your business division can now play a bigger role here as well. Different divisions can be connected to different job reason codes. So if this is an HVAC call, you can display HVAC-related reasons. If it's plumbing, you can show plumbing reasons, and the same thing applies to electrical or any other divisions you have set up. Another small change is with memberships. You can see the membership section here on this account. If your company doesn't use the membership feature, removing the membership plans from your system will now remove this section from the call screen entirely. We don't want to take up valuable screen space with something you aren't using. Attachments have also been moved down to the bottom left of the call. This helps keep the top of the screen focused on the things you're using most often, like memberships, jobs, and orders, while keeping everything organized in a more logical way. Now we're going to add our jobs. As soon as the job is created, our job reason information appears, and we can make our selections right here without having to move through several different screens. Job type, division, department, priority, KPIs, and skills automatically populate for smart dispatching. This means your team sends the right tech based on knowledge and performance every time. If you find yourself entering the same information every time you select a certain job reason, there is also a quick link here that allows you to edit those defaults. You can configure that yourself or reach out to us, and we can help you get it set up. From here, we can keep the notes from the original call, add any additional information we need, and then schedule the job. Scheduling works just like you're used to. We can move through the calendar, select the date, and then click and drag to assign the job to Peter. If we need to add an assistant, we can still do that as well. There haven't been any major changes to the actual dispatching process. One other thing you may notice is the Contact Client feature. Instead of taking up additional space on the job, those options are now located right here. From here, you can quickly email, text, or call the customer. Once we're finished, we simply close the job panel. We're still on the original call. We can see the service job we just created, and all of the information is connected and available without having to jump around the system. From here, we can head back to the calendar and continue working. That's a quick look at the call and dispatching process. We'll move on to a few more changes. Next, let's cover some small calendar adjustments and the updated jobs and order index pages. Here are the updates we've made to the calendar and how they can make day-to-day dispatching a little easier. The first thing you'll notice is that the calendar lock has moved. Previously, this was located down in the bottom left corner. You'll now find the lock option in the top right of the calendar. When locked, your jobs remain in place and cannot accidentally be dragged or repositioned. When you do need to make adjustments, simply unlock the calendar. Once unlocked, jobs can be dragged and moved directly around the calendar, allowing you to quickly adjust times, change technicians, or reorganize the schedule. Once you're finished, you can lock the calendar again to keep everything stable. We've also made this setting persistent. If you reload the page, the calendar will remember whether you had it locked or unlocked. Different companies manage their calendars differently, so we wanted to give you control over how you prefer to work. The other major change is what happens when you click directly on a job. Previously, clicking a job opened an additional preview or pop-up before you could actually access the call. We've removed that extra step. Now, clicking the job immediately takes you to the call it belongs to and highlights the specific job you selected. From here, you can update technician statuses, make dispatching changes, adjust scheduling information, or make any other changes you need. When you return to the calendar, it will also maintain the day you were working on. This makes it much easier to manage a specific day, make changes, redispatch jobs, and continue working without constantly navigating back to the date you were on. Next, we're going to move over to the updated Jobs Index page. One of the biggest changes here is simply how much more information and control you now have when looking through your jobs. Previously, the Jobs Index was a little more limited in what you could see, search, and report on. With this update, we've expanded the page to give you a much more complete overview of the information associated with each job. At the top, you'll still have your quick links for scheduled jobs. This includes your currently open jobs, jobs scheduled for today, jobs scheduled for tomorrow, and any jobs that are currently unscheduled. Below that, you'll see our new filtering system. This is also something you will see on the Orders Index page and will be adopted in other areas over time. From here, you can add filters for things like the client, job number, call number, status, job type, and several other criteria. The important part is that you control which filters are displayed. If there are only a few things you regularly search by, you can set those filters up and they'll remain available on the page for you. If you ever want to start over, simply use the Clear Inputs option to clear everything at once. On the right side of the page, you'll also notice a new gear icon. This gives you control over the table itself. You can change the order of your columns, turn individual columns on or off, and decide exactly what information you want visible. You can also adjust your page size anywhere from 10 to 100 records. Choose between small, medium, or large table spacing, and turn row striping on or off. If you're looking for a particular column inside the settings, you can even search for it directly. And just like the filters, these settings are maintained. So ultimately, the Jobs Index is no longer a one-size-fits-all page. You get to control what information you see, how you see it, and what's most useful to you. Next, we're going to move over to the updated Orders Index page. A lot of what you just saw on the Jobs Index carries directly over here. You'll have the same filtering options, column controls, page sizing, table customization, and the ability to decide exactly what information is important for you to see. The biggest advantage of the updated Orders Index is the amount of visibility you now have into every order at a glance. You can quickly see when an order was sent or if it still needs to be sent out, along with what its current status is. You can also make changes to those statuses directly from the page without having to open every individual order. This provides you with instant billing visibility. From the index, you can see the total amount of the order, any payments that have already been processed toward it, and the remaining balance if the order has only been partially paid. This gives you a really quick overview of where things stand across the company and makes it much easier to identify orders that may still need attention or have an outstanding balance. Another important addition here is the date range filtering. Instead of being limited to a single date, you can select a specific range and combine that with your other filters. For example, you could look for every order that was created between two dates and is currently in a specific status. Or you could narrow things down to exactly the period you're reviewing and then add additional criteria from there. So while the Orders Index has the same customization and filtering functionality as the Jobs page, the real benefit is the additional operational and financial visibility. You can see what was sent where it stands, what's been paid, what's still owed, and quickly narrow that information down to exactly what you need. We appreciate you watching, and we hope these updates make your day-to-day work faster, easier, and give you better control over the information that matters most. Please reach out if you need anything.